Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Radha Madhava ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah, we need an English Bhagavatam for English audience. Or you give me a smartphone with text. Shlok. Yeah, 4-2. Yes. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Oh, yes. Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, Chapter 2, Daksha curses Lord Shiva, text 26. Sarva bhaksha dvijavrityai. Sarva bhaksha dvijavrityai. Drita vidya tapovrataha. Drita vidya tapovrataha. Vitate hendriyarama. Vitate hendriyarama. Yachaka vicharantviha. Yachaka vicharantviha. Okay, you can chant. Mataji's. Sarva Bhaksha, eating everything. Dvija, the Brahmanas. Vrityai, for maintaining the body. Tritavidya, having taken to education. Tapaha, austerity. Vrataha, and vows. Vita, money. Deha, the body. Indriya, the senses. Aramaha, the satisfaction. Yachakaha, as beggars. Vicharantu, let them wander. Iha, here. Translation. These brahmanas take to education, austerity, and vows only for the purpose of maintaining the body. They shall be devoid of discrimination between what to eat and what not to eat. They will acquire money, begging from door to door, simply for the satisfaction of the body. Purport. The third curse inflicted by Nandishvara on the brahmanas who supported Daksha is completely functioning in the age of Kali. The so-called brahmanas are no longer interested in understanding the nature of the Supreme Brahman, although a brahmana means one who has attained knowledge about Brahman. In the Vedanta Sutra also it is stated, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. This human form of life is meant for realization of the Supreme Brahman, the Absolute Truth, or in other words, human life is meant for one's elevation to the post of a Brahmana. Unfortunately, the modern Brahmanas or so-called Brahmanas who come in originally Brahminical families, have left their own occupational duties, but they do not allow others to occupy the posts of Brahmanas. The qualifications for Brahmanas are described in the scriptures, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and all other Vedic literatures. Brahmana is not a hereditary title or position. If someone from a non-Brahmana family, for example one born in a family of Shudras, tries to become a Brahmana by being properly qualified under the instruction of a bona fide spiritual master, these so-called Brahmanas will object. Such Brahmanas, having been cursed by Nandishvara, are actually in a position where they have no discrimination between eatables and non-eatables and simply live to maintain the perishable material body and its family. Such fallen, conditioned souls are not worthy to be called Brahmanas, but in Kali Yuga they claim to be Brahmanas, and if a person actually tries to attain the Brahminical qualifications, they try to hinder his progress. This is the situation in the present age. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu condemned this principle very strongly. During his conversation with Ramananda Rai, he said that regardless of whether a person is born in a Brahmana family or a Shudra family, regardless of whether he's a householder or sannyasi, if he knows the signs of Krishna, he must be a spiritual master. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had many so-called Shudra disciples like Haridas Thakur and Ramananda Rai. Even the Goswamis, who were principal students of Lord Chaitanya, were also ostracized from Brahmana society. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by his grace, made them first-class Vaishnavas. Om Agyantimirandasya Gnanjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lankayati Girim Yat Kripatam Hang Vande Shri Gurundina Taranam Shri Chaitanya Monopistam Stapidam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svabadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So these Brahmanas take to education, austerity and vows only for the purpose of maintaining the body. They shall be devoid of discrimination between what to eat and what not to eat. They will acquire money, begging from door to door, simply for the satisfaction of the body. Hare Krishna. Yeah, this is a very wonderful point actually. Important point. We should remember this purport. 4:26, because this will come up again. You know, it's not a thing from the past, this hereditary understanding, this caste consciousness. This is not something which is gone. It can always come up again. Of course, in times of Mahaprabhu, it was very strong. It's not so strong anymore. We can see definitely a lot of unification and dissolution of old traditions like that, but still it can happen, and sometimes we hear that also that there are some quite conservative Hindu views, and some might slip into ISKCON, because ISKCON is the strongest in India, and many Indians from this background might join, and you might think like this, that actually, it's in Shastra, this Varnashram Dharma, there's Manu Samhita telling this and that, and these rules are very important, so what is your background? What's your Gotra? No Gotra? Okay, then you are Shudra probably, not even that, Mlecha. But I'm chanting Hare Krishna and I'm initiated. Not really, a bit. Yeah. And there is some point to it also, we must really say. It's, of course, if someone is born in a family which had over generations some kind of more sattvic background, of course this person inherits some qualities. Yeah, there's from the start might be something there, but if it's not encouraged and cultured, then it's of no use. And of course we often from the, I wouldn't say from the West, but in my situation it was like that, we bring in more of our material karma, tamasic karma. Look at our parents, what were they doing? How were we growing up? What was our background? How were we educated? What kind of information and media we were consuming, which is now all stored, and which makes it difficult to practice Krishna consciousness at times. And if someone comes from a very pious Hindu family and has never been exposed to all that stuff, of course it's easier for him, of course. But it's not an disqualification in itself. Yeah, it's not. If someone takes up Krishna consciousness very seriously, it's possible to advance very quickly and get rid of many things. But at the same time, of course, purity is the force, as it's said. But on principle, the principle is that everyone, it doesn't matter from which background, can become a devotee and also a brahmana. And this we have even in the Bhagavatam, in this verse I learned, but I forgot where it said that if someone is chanting the holy name, even he is from a Shudra, I think it said even from a dog eater's background, he can become brahmana, he can make yagyas even. And when we look back, this was the Vedic understanding. This is what's all over the Shastra. But in this middle age of India, when it became completely caste conscious, then such things were not understood, were not practiced. And we see this in Chaitanya's pastime as example, when Advaita Acharya's father passed away, and this is a very important rite which has to be done, this pinda, to really help the father on his onwards journey. All that is a very, very important situation. Also in the West, we also go to the cremation ground or the graveyard and we bury them, and there is some priest there, and it's also important, right? If some relative dies, it's not just throw him away. That's it. It's gone. No, there's a ceremony. There is some remembrance. There is some Leichenschmaus. You say this in Germany also? Huh? In Austria you say Leichenschmaus. After, or? Yeah. After when he or she is buried, most of them buried, then all the people, you go and eat something together, go to the restaurant. It's called Leichenschmaus. Yeah, of course. Then he was a good guy. Yeah, remember this and that. Oh, yeah, we miss him. They call it Leichenschmaus. Weird. It means Leichenschmaus means the I don't know, the corpse eating. Not that you eat a corpse, but after the corpse is corped, you go eat something. I don't know. So anyway, but in this was very important also in Vedic times or in India itself. And Advaita Acharya was a very prestigious person, so his father might have also been a very respectable person. And we know there was this ceremony, and then in this ceremony, the most elevated person should get the first offering or something. I don't know the technicalities. And we know Advaita Acharya gave it to whom? He gave it to Haridas Thakur. And it said all the Brahmanas, they objected. They said, how can that be? And why? Because Haridas Thakur was not, like Prabhupada mentions here, other Goswamis. This means Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami in special. Because they were from very high Brahmana families. But because they worked for Nawab Hussain Shah, for the Muslim government, they were ostracized, as said. They were rejected. The Brahmanas didn't accept them anymore as high Brahmanas. And they kind of became Muslim. They were not officially Muslims, but they were more or less living with the Muslims. They had very high positions. So, but Haridas Thakur was born a Muslim. He was not just, like this by bad chance lost his position. No, he was born a Muslim. So the Brahmanas objected completely. He's a Muslim. But he was not. Because he was a pure devotee. Because he acted as a pure devotee. He felt like a devotee. He identified as a devotee. He said, okay, I'm born like this, whatever, bad luck, whatever. It doesn't matter. But I'm a devotee. I love Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna. That's what counts. That's what Krishna actually takes into account. Nothing else. This is the transformation, as it's said in Shastra, right? As you can make with a Chintamani stone, you can transform bell metal into gold. Oh, I would like to have this. Where is it? Wow. But Prabhupada always tells this story that this guy, he traded it for the holy name. So anyway, we have something more valuable. Anyway, but it said you can transform this bell metal into gold. In the same way, any person through initiation, Diksha, it said, through Divya Gyan, Diksha, becomes a devotee. Transformation. The transformation. So Haridas Thakur was not at all anything else but the highest personality. And Advaita Acharya proved that in this situation. That he is the greatest. He is the greatest. Yeah. So this is very important because we might get criticized, or we might criticize. We might think. In ISKCON we offer also this female Diksha Guru issue. And it's a huge issue. It's an incredible problem. But spiritually and philosophically, of course, a woman can initiate. Of course. According to all that, she's not a human. If Haridas Thakur can become a pure devotee, transcend his Muslim background, a woman cannot transcend her female background. Cannot. Of course, it might be a little bit more intrinsic to the material nature, but still, according to our philosophy, women have also a soul. Huh? I think I believe it. I don't know it. I haven't searched for it, Huh? No, I don't see it. No, according to philosophy, women have no soul. They are the soul. Right? So, they are the soul. And in a female body. And Krishna says that, what's the words? 932. How is it in Bhagavad Gita? Vyapyashrit. Manghi parta vyapashita yepi syupapa yunaya styo vaishyasta dashudas tepi yanti parang gatim. Women, param gatim, can reach the supreme goal. If they surrender. So they surrender. So same, no problem. So spiritually, they can also be completely spiritual, self-realized, pure devotees. And, as is said here, if someone knows the science of Krishna, he can initiate, become a devotee, brahmana, all that. Teach. Why not? This is from the spiritual point of view. But then you have this kind of Vanashrama Dharma point of view, and where everyone is kind of fixed in their social situation, and from there it might be not possible. I don't know all this smritis and all that, but it might be a point from this direction. But from a spiritual point of view, definitely, why not? Every soul can be, how to say, everyone is a soul. So, this is very transcendental. So that means we have to take up Krishna consciousness in the right way, and then it's true. As I also said in second canto of Bhagavatam, normally you have obligations towards the king, to the demigods, to the forefathers. We have many obligations. But if we surrender, what's it said, Mukunda, to Mukunda, Sharanam, Sharanyam, you surrender completely to Mukunda, you have no obligation anymore to anyone. So it depends on how surrendered we are. When we are completely surrendered, we have no obligation to anyone. Yeah, and this is the process Mahaprabhu gave. So, and the Brahmanas, these wrong Brahmanas, they don't know Brahman, they don't know Krishna, and they use their Brahminical situation just to maintain themselves. They just do the yagyas to get some money. They beg from door to door. I don't know, not so much here, but they just do it for money. Yeah, it might happen. Preaching for money, book distribution for money, brahmachari ashram for money can also be. Because of a good life, it's okay. Grihastha anyway thinks only about money, nothing else. And money is the honey. Yeah. So they have to be also very careful to, it's not only about money. Normally you go to work and it's for the money, right? You stand there at Knaus, build a nice, expensive Wohnmobil, or someone is a lawyer, or someone owns some banks. I was talking with one devotee who was here at the festival, who is seemingly extremely rich. Banking, stock market, all that, right? Lots of money. It's difficult to not think of money then. Of course, you can think about money, but you should understand what it is. And then there are others who might have more teachers or even preachers. And they also say, I'm preaching and I get actually money for that. But I shouldn't do it for money. I might get money for my work, but I should not do the work for the money. I should learn to do the work for the work. I should do the work for the higher purpose, especially if it's spiritual. But it's not easy. It's very difficult. Actually, it's very difficult. So we should be devotees, and actually there's a very nice verse which is very helpful in this regard from Bhagavatam, I think it was in the 5th chapter, 1st canto. Tasyeta heto prayateta kovido nalapyate yat pramatam uparyada talapyate dukkhavat anyata sukham kalena savata gabira ramhasa. It's a very nice verse. Prabhupada quotes it very often. Because normally we think, I have to do something that I get something. But in this verse it said, all that what you get comes kalena savata gabira ramhasa, means by itself. You earned it already in the previous life. That the reason for the karma is already, it happened already. You just create new karma now. And it said, as you don't worry about suffering coming, which just comes, in the same way also pleasures come. Yeah. Because nobody, thinks about pain. It suddenly comes. Suddenly it some problem comes, some misery comes, some problem, some suffering comes. In the same way, because it's just the other side of the duality, the other side is pleasure. Also pleasure, good things just come because of the karma, which is already created. But it said, where was it? No, today in the morning we read also in this regard that Prabhupada said, but you shouldn't sit idly and just wait then for Krishna. Okay, because Krishna is not according to karma. You can say, okay, then I become Krishna conscious. I don't have to do anything. No, we have to do something, of course. Okay, so then what else? Yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stressed the chanting of the holy name. Jai Nishingadev. And This is our main process to chant Hare Krishna. Should take it very serious. To understand what is actually our goal in life. Why are we doing something? Why are we doing it? And what do I want to reach? We should goal setting, right? Goal setting. We should set some goals. Any professional person has goals, I would say. They don't just do something. They are not like a regular person who goes every day in the morning to the work and comes back and that's it. No, they have kind of a goal. They have a mission. I want to reach something. Often they define it in money. How much money do I want to earn? Or how much influence do I want to have? Or how many, I want to have this PhD or something. I have a goal. Something what motivates. Okay, this is why I'm getting up in the morning. I want to reach something. And for us devotees also, we should have a goal, but it's a bit difficult because our goal is so spiritual. It's so hard to grasp. It's a little bit hard to grasp, hard to define. As a book distributor, it's easier. Okay, my goal is 100 books, this and that. Yeah, you can work with numbers. Some like to work with numbers. I always like to work with numbers. They give me kind of a clearer picture. So how can you quantify your spiritual progress? Maybe for those who think in numbers, it's a bit difficult. Huh? Okay, how much percentage of Krishna consciousness do I want to reach in 1 year? How much percentage of prema do I want to have? Huh? Bit difficult. But anyway, you can think about it, at least. Okay, how can I make my spiritual progress a bit more understandable and define it and see, okay, where do I want to be in that time? In preaching terms, it's also easier to understand. Okay, how many books I want to distribute, how many devotees do we want to make, how many temples we want to open, or whatever. I want to have a project. In preaching terms, it's easier. Okay, what do I want to reach? Or for me, I want to reach so many subscribers or so much. Even Lakshmi, because I'm working with Lakshmi. Okay, maybe more Lakshmi. It's also good. If you can use it for Krishna, of course. If not, then it's difficult. But spiritual progress, how can we set goals there? Maybe we can set goals on the point of anatta nivritti. Okay, I have a certain set of anarthas. Yeah, everyone can write down his 5 top anarthas, my top 5 anarthas. And they're bothering me. Okay, so I cannot work maybe on all 5 of them immediately, but okay, start which first, and then I make a plan to really overcome this habit, to create a habit, or to uncreate an old habit. I know it. I have a couple of habits which are troubling me. So I could say, okay, I consciously work on this, and in 1 year I want to be free of it. This is no problem. We can change ourselves. Certain habits are very deep. It might not work that easy. Some are like very deep, come from lifetimes or from childhood. You need maybe some help. But other, like anger issues. Does someone of you have an anger issue? Even if it's just small? Yeah? Some of you. Huh? So some can identify. Okay. So you get angry sometimes. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But sometimes you feel a bit angry. Yeah? But you don't want it. But when it comes, you kind of want it. Especially if you feel justified that I can be angry now. And about what are we angry? We are not angry about somewhat. We're angry about someone most of the time. Okay, sometimes I'm angry with my car, maybe with my computer or something. But it's not so satisfying somehow. I don't know. The exchange is not there. Yeah. Maybe I'm angry with Siri or something. Yeah, Siri is not always understanding what I tell. Or there was one meme, so a picture, one guy sitting in front of one of these devices and says, hey Siri, I have a relationship issue. And this says, I'm Alexa. Something like this. Okay, but normally we are angry with other human beings, right? And this is especially a problem because most of people who are around us are devotees. Not so good to be angry with devotees. Not so good to think bad about devotees. Very difficult. Or if you're in a family setting, also not good to be angry with your spouse, right, or children. So anyway, anger is a problem. Even said in Bhagavad Gita, anger is the road to hell, isn't it? There are 3 ways to hell, and out of that one is anger. So why is anger coming? Because of lust. What means lust? Lust means I want something, and if it's not happening as I want, I become angry. The base of anger is always lust, and lust meaning my desire. I want something, and this has to be, and if it's not fulfilled, I become angry. And this is very subtle. Huh? This lust is not just lust, oh, I want to have an ice cream, enjoy the ice cream now, something. No, it's more subtle. Huh? My ego has to be fulfilled. Yeah, and if this is not happening, then we become angry. And then anger takes over. It said anger takes over our consciousness, our mind. It poisons us, actually. And in anger, we do things which we wouldn't do normally. I would not yell now, Basha, I hate you, you're such a... Throw this at you, you're so ugly, what are you doing here, get out of here. I go to us, this Basha guy, this is such an... No. I would say it now to make it more graphic, but I don't say it. You go to others and maybe they have also a small problem with Basha. Yes, it's true, yes, okay, this Basha, okay, we all get together against Basha. There he is! Catch him! Yeah, this is what they do. So normally I would not do that. Normally, oh Basha, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Oh, we are friends. We have a nice relationship. But if Basha does something wrong to my ego, friendship goes out of the window. I forget that you are actually a nice person, and I just hate you. Yeah, the hate means it's against you. And we forget everything. How can it be? The best hate relationships are those who loved each other before. This is amazing. Oh, we love each other. We are so happy. Yeah, marriage and whatever relationship. Oh, you are the one and only you, and forever. And somehow or other it breaks, and they hate each other like anything. You can hate the person the most who you loved before. Of course, it's not love, right? This is not love. In real love, this would never happen. Of course not. Real love means I love you no matter what, even if you hate me. Because such a person understands hate is hurting myself. Isn't it? If I have a problem with you and I'm angry with you and all that, maybe you are more transcendental, you laugh about it, but I hate you, which doesn't do anything. I'm like a mouse in the universe. This universe, it's terrible, the sun, this and that. It's like ridiculous. Last time I was quite angry, so I had this realization, who am I? Whom do I want to impress with my anger? What does the sun think about it? This is like an ant. If now ant walks around super angry, we won't even recognize it. Angry ant. What? Who cares about the angry ant? It's just ridiculous. So I felt I'm like an ant. I'm an angry ant. No, but who are you? Not even recognized. So whom do you want to impress? You can't impress anyone. Doesn't reach anything. It doesn't make anything good. But we think, oh, I'm so powerful because it's me. This angry ant. No, it's me. When I'm angry, like Hiranyakashipu, I move my eyebrows. Everyone is afraid. No, nobody recognizes it. So I'm an angry ant. So I said, it's ridiculous. It doesn't make anything good. It just hurts myself. Anger just hurts myself. and it comes from lust. It's just ego. It's like a child when it doesn't get what it wants. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Everyone says, what is the problem? I just want that. I want that. This the mind takes over completely, bewilders us, and we're suffering. Totally. During the anger, there might be some kind of pleasure actually. Somehow, if the ego is let loose like this, because in anger, that means all barriers of decent behavior are gone. Because normally every one of us has certain rules and values, and we keep that. And even if in some situation we are a little bit, provoked, doesn't work in our way, we can control ourselves. We are still nice, we to be respectful, decent behavior. But if this barrier somehow or other is broken, it's gone, actually it's in all an art, also in lust. This is broken, then I do this and that, I enjoy. In anger, all that. They break the barrier of decent behavior. And somehow or other we feel justified to be now such a person, to act against social convention. And then most of the time we scream around, if we can, like a nice brahmachari, who is cultured. He would not do that. He's too much controlled by social convention, by his obligation of humility, of training. He wouldn't do it. But when you're in white, you think you can do it. Or if you're in a position where you think, I can do it, I can do it. I remember I was running around Simhachalam, temple grounds, yelling around like an idiot, because it's me. I can do that. I don't have to it doesn't matter. Some guests looking, what's going on with this guy? I didn't care. It's me. I'm justified to scream around, make the whole show. Because of pride also. Because of pride. Because if you're more humble, you think, I cannot do that, who am I? But the pride means, yes, it's me. Completely convinced about your greatness. Other interesting combination of pride in this situation. So, what I want to say. Yeah, so it's poisoning us. And then during the whole show, there's a show going on, complete bewilderment. And then hopefully in time, it cools down again. Cools down, and then you, I think I did something stupid. And if there is some humility, you say, sorry, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. And it's true, in one sense it wasn't me, because it's weird how different we can be in one sense. In anger, it's kind of a different entity. And afterwards I say, what have I done? This is not really me. I was really agitated. And it happens, as I said, in lust, in anger, also in intoxication. It's interesting. Intoxication changes people completely. You do things which you would never do, and you say, "Oh, that wasn't me." In one sense, of course, it's us, but yeah, we can see how influenced we are. And Krishna consciousness means you're conscious. Of course, okay. So let's say like Sattva Guna means you are always in a very balanced consciousness. And these things they don't agitate you, and you would not get affected by it. As it said, right, when there is when these emotions come, you are able to not identify with it. It's very powerful, actually. They come like a cloud, and they pass. And if you are strong enough to not identify, to just let it pass, then it goes away and distance itself, and it's gone. And say, oh, it's possible. I don't have to identify with it. Anger might come somehow or other. It comes. We can feel it already. Oh, it's coming. But do I go into it? Do I identify with it? Somehow do I let loose? Or I control myself? Then it will go away as it came. I said, good that I was not acting upon it. Good that I was not identifying. So those with anger issues, they have to learn that. We have to learn that. And it works. It works. We might make still mistakes, but we should learn from the mistake. How did it happen that I again got angry? right? How did it happen? Where was it where was it starting? Where was the first impulse? What was pinching me where I felt a little agitated? What was it? Okay, someone said something to me, right? My wife said something to me what I didn't like. So why do I have to get angry? Why do I have to take it serious? Why can I not calmly answer, my dear wife, please don't say this to me. Please don't say this in this way, or I don't like this. Yeah. Or why say anything? Why not just let it slide anyway? Okay, Hare Krishna. What was the starting point? How was it coming? What was I thinking? Because it said thinking, feeling, willing, right? So there's a thought process also before the emotion. How was I justifying to get angry? Okay, this person says, oh, Ananda Krishna, your lecture was too long. Can you maybe not speak so long next time? That, oh, didn't you like it? Was it boring or what? You know, if a lecture is interesting, can go on long time. What's the... might get agitated. So I was thinking, oh, why does he say the lecture was too long? Was it boring? He doesn't like your lecture. He doesn't like you probably. He thinks he thinks himself better. Whatever, some stupid rationalization. And then, oh yeah, last time this and that. I don't like him. And then you go, well, what's your problem? What's your problem? Why are you criticizing me? What are you doing? You might something like this. So, but I mean, there are some thoughts which we kind of sometimes think ourselves into the emotions. It's not always like that. Sometimes it's kind of spontaneous, but very often I recognize I kind of think myself into the emotions, thinking, feeling, willing. I think, and I create the feeling almost. And there we need intelligence, Buddhi Yoga, where we step up to the intelligence and say no. He was just saying, don't speak so long because they have some service to do. And anyway, why are you speaking so long? We should stop at 9 o'clock. It's a rule. Why you think you can break the rule? You're something special? No, so it's okay. Everything good. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Next time I will stop at proper time. Right. We have to be intelligent. That means intelligence. Intelligence and self-control, they go together. So, but often it doesn't work. We are not intelligent because the intelligent gets bewildered. Was it by the loss of memory, right? Is it loss of memory? That's very tricky. So Bhagavad Gita, this is Bhagavad Gita psychology. Actually, we should know that, learn it, realize it, and preach it. Psychology is such a powerful preaching tool, actually. And sometimes we think, oh, psychology. When I grew up in Krishna consciousness, I was around kind of fanatical Sankirtan devotees sometimes, who said, Sankirtan forever, or if you're not doing Sankirtan, you're in Maya. Everything else but Sankirtan is Maya. And then came some trend of some psychology and retreats and this and that, and this, what's that nonsense? They should go on Sankirtan. Why be mental like that? You know, go on Sankirtan, solve your problem. You know? So this understanding was there. If you go into their mind too much, and what am I thinking, this and that, it's like going into the garbage bin. You know, the garbage bin of your mind, of your thoughts, of your. It's like ridiculous. You don't want to grab all this in this garbage. Of course, we should not go into a complete ego trip and analyze, how to say, be like, as they say now, a snowflake. You know this term snowflake? Snowflakes are these persons nowadays who are easily offended. This is nowadays a trend to that everyone feels comfortable, everyone is recognized, everyone is respected, in your self-understanding, and this is why they have all this, whatever they have. And the snowflakes are actually those who still complain and always complain, and I was not recognized, my pronouns were not spoken properly, and whatever. And this is actually a quite weird age, because people are easily offended because of this atmosphere. So of course we shouldn't be snowflakes and be easily offended, and how he was looking at me like this, and I don't deserve that. How could he look at me like this? I feel so sad. I need now psychotherapist. can you help me? He was looking at me. Yeah, what? How was he looking at me? Yeah, like this. Oh no. Oh, it was so bad. You're so poor. Poor brahmachari. Come, it's okay. And poor Mataji. Oh, yeah, she was looking at me. Okay, we might have a bad day. Sometimes you have a bad day and really someone looks at you and you are, I need now some session. But in general, come on. And in Bhagavatam, the people are quite strong actually, psychologically strong. They are not like easily offended like this. Kind of honest. And Prabhupada was also honest and straight, and in former times it was like that. But now it's the age of the emotions. Yeah, everyone is, it was age of self-centeredness. This is an extreme, but for devotees, definitely we should apply this or learn this Bhagavad Gita psychology. It's quite easy, it's not so complicated, but very powerful, very helpful for us. We want to control ourselves, we want to get rid of anarthas, and this was just on the point of spiritual advancement. So spiritual advancement means also to change habits, understanding. So this was just an example more or less. How can we improve ourselves? Find some area in your life where what you want to improve, what you want to get rid of, and then work with it on in your spiritual life, with Shastra, talk with devotees. Now when I ask now who has anger issues, I raised my hand. I don't know if this helped some of you also to raise their hand. Who has anger issues? Look, he has anger issues. You are not a devotee. No, we have all anger issues, right? Or lust issues. I don't go into that one. We don't go into that one, but it's just an example. There are some issues. Think about it. How can I get rid? How can I learn it? And we have lots of help. And you can set yourself some time and overcome something for Krishna. Yeah. So this is for anatta nivritti, but the other side has to be stressed as much, even more. How can I improve my Krishna consciousness? Okay, how can I define that? Many things. But one thing, of course, how can I get taste? Taste is most important. Do you have sometimes taste for Krishna consciousness? Do you sometimes you experience some taste in Krishna consciousness where you thought, oh, this was very, very nice? Never. So sometimes in kirtan, and I define to explain taste because it's more also emotion. For me, I would say it's an experience I have which is very pleasurable, wonderful, and where I think this can go now on for a long time. Right? It's so beautiful, it's so nice, and it should not stop. It doesn't have to stop because normally we are in a material consciousness, maybe rajasic consciousness, and we always want to finish things. It should be done. It should be, my puja, okay, I'm done, and next, and next, and next, and next. Kind of rajasic. But when you have this tasty consciousness, rasika consciousness, you feel, oh no, I don't want to leave. I don't want to go anywhere. It should be like this. It's wonderful. It's great. Might be during japa sometimes. Sometimes it's more difficult to reach it in japa, but sometimes you have it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Think, oh, now I'm in it. Before that, it's a struggle, consciousness, mind, control, sleepy, this and that. But sometimes you're above the clouds of all this struggle. Oh, now, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, I could now chant 10 rounds more. 20 rounds more, no problem. Sometimes you have it during reading. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Oh no, I have to stop because service, this and that. But if I have time, I would read now forever. Sometimes you have it in kirtan, maybe in service, right? So does everyone know what I mean? That's very good. That's very good that you know what I mean. Because this is what Krishna consciousness really is. Everything else is the struggle to come there. But this is what Krishna consciousness is. This is why Prabhupada could listen his own Krishna book for hours and hours on Jamastami. This is how Mahaprabhu could dance and sing the whole night. This is how a book distributor can go on hours on Sankirtan. Or this is how as a devotee on Ekadashi can chant so many rounds. Sometimes. Huh? Because when we are carried by this taste, then everything is easy and wonderful. And you're happy, and you're great, and you're humble also. You're humble. That's such a nice taste. So how can we attain this more often? How can I reach there? So how could we work on that? When was the last time I had it? How did it happen that I went there? Okay, let me reproduce it. How was it happening? Okay, let me do it again. Let me come to this state of consciousness where I felt the connection with Krishna, when Krishna was very present, when he was not just nobody, because often Krishna for us is nobody, meaning we forget him. He's not even there. But sometimes he is theoretical. Okay, I believe in Krishna. But sometimes he's very tangible, very, very realized actually. Oh, Krishna. The person, he's there. How can I attain this consciousness, this connection, this taste? So when did it happen last time? How did it work out? And let me do it again. And let me live my life that it's always like that. Why not? In that sense, not so difficult. But we are just lazy and forgetting. And come again under the modes of the regular this and that and okay, and forget, oh, it's about the rasa actually, it's about the pleasure. It should be full of pleasure. Yeah, so make a plan how to be more in this consciousness. Yeah, it's very nice, very beautiful. So, this is actually, on this point I want to stop, because this is a good point. As a mission, how can I come into this spiritual rasic consciousness where it should never end, where my mind is not disturbed. Because often the mind is disturbed and wants to end it. Lectures as example, or so often, okay. Until some certain point we can listen, it's okay, but on one point the mind gets a little bit, okay. I wouldn't mind if he says now Grantu Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. I wouldn't mind now. Actually, it's kind of a relief. It was nice until here. Yeah. So, or when is this round done, right? Or this and that. So, but how can we come to the opposite? Think about it. I will think about it. I will try it. Okay, any questions, any comments?
Thank you, Ananda Krishna Prabhu, for the nice lecture. I don't actually want to switch the point now back to the anattas, but my question is about that. This verse, for me, it makes sense that, how he explained, from lust anger rises.
Yeah.
But then the next point is, from anger comes illusion, and then illusion, bewilderment of memory.
Yeah.
And then the intelligence is lost. So I don't really understand what actually is the illusion, and which memory is lost. What is the...
Yeah, so this verse, how does it start? Yeah. No, this is Kamesha Krodesha. No, this is from second chapter. Dhyayato Vishayan Pungsa. That's Dhyayaton. You meditate. Kamaste Shupachayate. Kamat Sanchayate Kroda. Krodat Bhavati. Kama, yeah. From Kama to Kroda, and Kroda Bhavati Samoha. Samoha. Yeah, this Samoha. Bewilderment. This is, this anger is this emotion, to be angry. The lust is not fulfilled. You feel angry. And there's bewilderment. Isn't it? Our pure consciousness, our normal consciousness is bewildered. This is the effect. And it's so close that you might not differentiate it, because it's so close. You think, of course, anger bewilders. Yeah, but anger itself is one thing, and the bewildering aspect of the anger is another one. Bhagavad Gita differentiates these two. And you become angry, and then you're bewildered. And because of this bewilderment comes the loss of memory. Smriti. Smriti is and because of that, you cannot act properly. Because normally this remembrance means what to do, what not to do. Right? It's just the rules, how to behave. So this is bewildered. This is bewildered. And because of this, the intelligence has no resources of differentiation. I like to compare the intelligence, let's compare this with a computer. Intelligence is the processor. i7, i9, or M1, M1 Max. Yeah? It's the processor. How fast it can make the calculations. The processor makes the calculations. So, but if this processor has no data in your RAM, not in your RAM, in your storage, yeah, then we cannot process anything. In the same way, you might be very intelligent, but if you don't know anything, you cannot make use of your intelligence. So you need some certain set of information, of knowledge, and intelligence, if it's strong, can work with this information and do something. So because of this information, the set of information is bewildered, it's gone, it's eradicated, it's covered, the intelligence has nothing to take, so to say, cannot work, and it's useless. What's the processor without any data? You can be so intelligent, but if you know nothing, what do you want to understand? So then intelligence cannot work, and intelligence is destroyed. It's useless. Cannot differentiate, doesn't know how to act. And might even be used in the opposite way. So the materialistic intelligence forgets the real information and makes plans for something demonic. Okay? Anything else, Mataji?
Hare Krishna. You mentioned before goals in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
But isn't it just the basic or the most important goal to do devotional service?
Yes. Definitely. Some devotees might be completely happy with their daily to-dos and all that. But if we want to be more structured or more successful, actually, it's good to make a plan. And some like and can plan their spiritual life in order to reach more for Krishna, more for the mission. And so we can make use of that. Yeah? And Prabhupada, I don't know if he set goal. Yeah, like with the Chaitanya Charitamrita, he set the goal. In 2 months, it must be produced. He was not just, doing. Sometimes maybe, but he had plans, he had goals, and he wanted to reach them. Yeah? So there is some justification for this approach if it's done for Krishna, and if we are not getting into Rajasic consciousness. Of course, goal setting might affect us and we become a bit Rajasic. That shouldn't be. Because Rajas means you just do it for the result. And of course, then that's not good. It should not override our the present consciousness, because normally we should be conscious of the present and do it because of the activity and not just think of the result, of course. These two has to go together. So we learn to do it in the present, but have the goal in mind. Yeah, good. Thank you for your remark. Anything else? Good. Oh, Prabhu?
Yes, it has been said that artificial intelligence will take over on intelligence even of mankind. What do you have to comment on it? Because it will be the destruction of the civilization then.
I am not afraid of artificial intelligence because there are so many reasons how the world could end. There could be atomic war, could be another some diseases, some meteorite can come. This is up to Krishna if he wants to destroy the world through this or that or not. We shouldn't be worried about that. And artificial intelligence might have its pros and cons. Some things are good, some things are bad. It's always like this in the material world. But a devotee who is Krishna conscious should not be worried. We should be worried that people are not Krishna conscious, because this will help them in the end, really. And that we are ourselves not Krishna conscious. This is our main concern. Everything else, So far, I have no problem with artificial intelligence. I use ChatGPT. It's not perfect, actually. I find many mistakes, but somehow it's practical for me. Of course, from others who will be replaced by artificial intelligence, for them it's not so good. But this is the world, you know. So no, we are not worried about that. Hare Krishna. Frage im Chat.
There's a question from the chat. So after lockdown, there are many classes online, and I joined many classes and still attend. And now also many classes pop up online. So I wanted to ask, does this sloka fit in there? Too much attached to attending classes, but sometimes not attending creates burden. So it's also being too attached that it brings me an illusion that I'm not able to meditate on Krishna.
No, I don't think it's a problem. Of course, we should prefer live classes, and we should attend meetings with devotees, definitely. It's very powerful. I find, actually, I can see the difference. But to hear from devotees is never a problem. We cannot hear. Sometimes we think that we should not desire, when we say we should not have desires, we should desire, that we shouldn't desire at all. Spiritual things we should desire. We should desire to hear about Krishna, to chant, to be more advanced, and all that. Spiritual desire is good. In the same way, spiritual online usage is very good. And if you think, wow, this is so nectar, this devotee gives so nice classes, this information is good, and he speaks so nicely, I watch this, or hear this, and this inspires me in my spiritual life. It's very good. Of course, then there should be also chanting, devotional service, but this is part of devotional service. Good, thank you so much. Es ist schon vorbei. Huh? No, ist schon vorbei. Es ist schon 9, jetzt müssen wir. Zu spät, leider. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Also wenn es um 9 ist, bin ich 2 Minuten vor 9.